Watching. Hi everyone on Facebook and on Twitter and Periscope. Today is the Sunday show. I hope you can see me. Yes, you can. Hello everyone. I've got a bit of Bob Marley on actually, and the reason I've got some Bob Marley on is because it reminds me of my uncle. He passed away unfortunately, and I've been thinking about him quite a lot recently, and I thought I'd stick some Bob Marley on to, you know, give a bit of homage to my Uncle Gordon. So this is it. This is the Sunday show. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. This is predominantly for performers, for creative entrepreneurs to get out there, make your mark, be seen, get into the spotlight and do your thing. So I thought I would do like a really quick check-in of where I am and what I've been doing and how Shell HQ is, I think. And let me tell you a few things that have happened for me this week. I'll turn down my Bob. There he is. So 3 things have happened this week. First of all, I've been redecorated, and I'm sure of anyone who has redecorated before in the past, it's quite stressful. It's quite stressful. So I've literally been back and forth picking furniture up and moving things and figuring out where I should like paint this wall or put this picture, and it's been quite stressful in that respect, but also quite interesting because I do love a bit of creativity. So you see my notes. See a bit of creativity, but it's been such a great experience, but also everything is like I don't even want to show you my office right now because it's a little bit messy. We've got all the stuff from the bedroom in here and it's like anyway, as you could probably see, I usually have straight hair, but it's a little bit wavy today, and that's because I've been learning how to do French plaits, or I've been helping my husband learn how to do French plaits too, because I can't do them. I don't know if anyone knows how to do a French plait, but like my arms just hurt so much when they, you know, so I've been practicing, he's been practicing because he's going to help me out with it. And there we are. So that's the reason I've got a bit of a wave in there today. And what else am I going to talk about? Oh yeah, I've actually been on a bit of a health kick, and I've lost 5.5 pounds. Woohoo! Yes. So I am keeping healthy. I'm decorating the house and making things look pretty, and I'm also learning how to do French plaits. You know, I'm 33, and I'd never ever think to actually, like, you know, it's something I just don't know how to do. So I thought I would just learn. So those are 3 things that I'm doing this week. I wonder what you're doing in your life. What are you learning right now that maybe, you know, you're teaching yourself that you don't know? This a skill that you have that you never knew. Like my mum learned to drive when she was 52. You know, it's one of those things where you can always keep learning. Hey to everyone who's just joined, say hi. Thank you so much for the love hearts as well. Woohoo, yay. So that's what's been going on in Shell HQ. So let me know what's been going on in your life this week, how much you've done. Have you got any goals done? Have you ticked anything off your list? So I've hi Vernon. I've been doing a few things this week. So those are the massive things actually. Even though doing a French plait maybe isn't the biggest thing. I want to really move on to a new section of the show actually, and it just came to me. I don't know why it just came to me, but hey to everyone who's watching on Periscope and Twitter. Hi. Oh, hello Callum. Hi Callum. A new section of the show is these. Now these are actual cards that have virtues on them. So things like creativity, resourcefulness, nurturing. And what I thought I would do, my friend actually gifted me these and I love them. There's something that whenever I'm in a little bit of a quandary, I'm not quite sure what I should do in my life, I pick these up and I give them a little shuffle. Now, I'm going to give this job to Vernon, who's watching. Vernon, do you want top, middle, or bottom cards? What would you like, a top, middle, or bottom card? I'm going to shuffle them whilst Vernon's answering this question. I love these virtue cards, actually. What do you think, Vernon? I'm waiting. What do you want, a top? Oh! Vernon says a top, so it's going to be here in one of these. And it is free. So we're actually free. I'm going to read this virtue out. No mindset binds me. Inwardly supported, I step beyond limits. So Vernon, this is for you. That is your virtue for the week. It's free. It's free. And I think free is something that sometimes we can we can feel very locked in our head, like we're in prison. You know, sometimes you can walk wherever you want in your life, but actually your mindset keeps you imprisoned. So what is it in your life right now that is stopping you from taking the next step? What is it that your mind is telling you you can't do? You're not worthy. You're not good enough. And sometimes Callum says your survey says, of course. Callum, if you want one of these, tell me top, middle, or bottom, and I'll dish one out for you. Anyone on Twitter or Periscope, you tell me, and I'll dish one out for you too. But it's interesting, the freedom, because people believe they're free. I can go anywhere and do anything. But in actual fact, are you willing to go up to a stranger and start a conversation? So how free are you with your conversations, with your words? How free are you with your body? You know, are you a bit of a couch potato? So think of free in all manners of the word. And I think it's very interesting that one came up, because I didn't feel very free this week with decorating. So I wonder how you guys have been feeling free in your life. So I'm going to leave those here. That's kind of like my new section of the show. I usually have a mantra of the week, and now I'm going to have a virtue card of the week. So Vernon, well done. You were the first ever virtue card of the week, I guess. Yes, we're going to call it virtue card of the week. There you go. So we're going to move on really quickly, and I want to talk about patience and performing, and why it's so important to use this. Another virtue, I think, is patience. But being a performer, being a creative entrepreneur is so difficult. And it's not just difficult because if you think on a grand scheme of a business, 9 out of 10 businesses fail. Well, when you're a performer, only 1 in like 20 million people ever get to the place in which your brain is telling you you want to be at. You know, the fame, the fortune, the lights. And it's about creating, it's not about not having that dream, by the way. And it's not about saying it's not worthy of my time to have that dream. You dream away. You make sure that that dream is so fixed in your head that you know where you're going. But also, it's about being patient, because it doesn't come overnight. Even people who work on the X Factor, you can tell the people who've just had 1 or 2 gigs, or somebody who, you know, when they do the Andrew Lloyd Webber musicals on TV, you can tell the people who've actually crafted the time in which to, you know, go to auditions, and there's this worthiness, there's this sense of I belong here. And that comes with the patience of doing the work and being in the craft. So it's one of those really, really awful things, actually, because you don't want to have patience. You want it to come now. You feel as if like you've done all your training, you've been in maybe a few roles, you've maybe been the front person, you know, the leading lady, the leading man in a musical, and you're just like, I'm ready. But what happens is sometimes the moment isn't hitting. So there's preparation plus opportunity, and that equals success. And sometimes those two things just don't marry up. They don't connect together. And it doesn't mean you're bad. And I think this is the one thing that you have to take away when it comes to patience. It's if it's not working in your life right now, it's not because of you. It could literally be that you need more experience or whatever. That's it, in your control. But how people adapt to you and your ability and your talent is completely in the control of other people. And therefore, that's where patience, that's what I'm talking about patience. That's where patience really comes into play here. Because if you don't have the patience, the resilience to keep going, when it gets tough, when you feel like, oh my gosh, nothing's working, I've tried this before, I've spoken to this person before, I've been to see this casting director 10 times this week, roughly for the similar roles, like why do they keep asking me in, you know, why is it? But actually keep going with that. That is the journey. That's actually the dream. The dream is to to be a working actor, to be a working musical performer, to be a working musician, and you need to put the graft in. Now, yes, that graft will come when you still need to pay the bills and you're not bringing in any money. That graft will have to come even when your your mindset is saying, just get in bed, watch Netflix. This, you know, maybe you should have listened to your parents. Have you ever had this? Have you ever had this where your parents are like, get a real job? Get a real job. Hang on a second. This is who I am. This is what I do. This is what I know I'm created for. That is a real job. That is the purpose in which you were born. So it's so hard to accept that from other people. And I would also say this patience comes from being in a job that you dislike. It could be waitressing, it could be a call centre, it could be that you're playing Elsa in a kid's party, you know, that type of part-time job that you get just to keep you going, keep you ticking over. Those jobs are so vital, and I know that you would want to like just quit it all and do the acting thing, quit it all, do the music thing. It's so vital to have some certainty in your life, and that's what that job is bringing you right now. It's bringing you certainty. So although I would say to you, yes, it's amazing to go for that audition that is for an advert that's got like a wide reach, and if you get it, you'll get like 30 grand, and then you get such and such and blah 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 blah, blah on top of it. In actual fact, keep going for those auditions, but don't lose sight of the fact that that audition may not come back for another couple of weeks and you still need to pay your rent. And there's this real to-in and fro-in between what your brain's telling you and where your visualization's taking you, because it's taking you to, oh my gosh, I could get 30 grand. But actually the reality of your life is saying, right, okay, I need to actually go and wait tables right now. And that's really difficult. But there's a middle ground here, and it's about paving the way and being patient enough to know that that is actually the path. You're not failing. You are not failing by having a part-time job. Hi Sealey, you're not failing by having a part-time job, and you are not failing by not bringing in money straight away. It takes time. It takes time to build this up. It takes time to know people, to network. We all know what networking is like in this business. You need to know people, and it does take time. So just this section is about patience. Just have that patience that it's not going to happen straight away. It will happen, but you have to keep going. But it also may not be, you know, mind-blowingly superstar on stage happen for you. It might happen in a completely different way, and you may just be as fulfilled and happy in the way that it's going to turn out as you would be in the way that you think it's going to turn out. So that's that section of patience, and I'm going to leave that there because it's one I think that you have to live it. You know, I can't tell you, oh, don't worry about your part-time job when you're thinking, I've got an 8-hour shift in that restaurant and I do not want to be there. I need to learn a line for this audition, and I need to figure out my, you know, where my head voice is going when I'm singing this part of the song. It's going to be one of those moments where you just have to grit your teeth, and this is where resilience comes in. This is where actually it's allowing you, that job is allowing you the opportunity to then go forth and do other things. So that's kind of like my little, I feel like that was a bit of a rant. It was a bit of a rant, but I tell you what, it comes from the heart, because the amount of clients that I have every week that say to me, I have to go to this job. I don't want to be there. I want to be auditioning. I want to be on stage. I want to be rehearsing. But the job is part of the journey. And it has to come side by side, because those two things have to align. And you know, if you are lucky enough and rich enough to not have to work, then good for you. But I know a lot of people aren't. So just grit your teeth, get through it, and always fixate on the times you're not in work to do the best you can and to utilise all that time that you have, rather than sitting at home in your PJs watching Gilmore Girls. That wasn't me. It kind of was me, but we'll just skip aside that. I wanted to talk about patience because I've had so many clients this week who are struggling, who are really struggling with their resilience. And resilience is something you need in this game to grit your teeth and to just push through it. And I don't mean push through it as, you know, that masculine energy And I don't mean that also as in masculine energy is bad, but sometimes you can keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing. Sometimes resilience is in letting go and saying, I'm not going to feel bad about having to go to this job. I'm going to go to the job and have fun. And that is patience. So, deep breath in and deep breath out. Because I've been redecorating, I haven't had as much time to do all my little slides this week. So I'm not going to go into my normal sections as I do. But what I'm going to do, and I'm sorry everyone on Periscope and Twitter, you can't see this, but this is my little cuteness of the week today. And it's actually, I know you can't see it Twitter, but it's the most amazing little rabbit. And I just saw this, I thought he was the cutest little thing. Give me a heart if you love the rabbit. Say you love him, you know, give him a name, I don't care, you go for it. I just thought it would be a nice thing to cheer you all up today. Happy Sunday everybody, and that is your cuteness of the week. I'm going to finish off today with 5 ways to feel like home when you're ready to pack for an overseas tour. So for instance, say if you were, like my friend was in the troupe for Riverdance, and she went all over the place, and there's this moment in time where you're on maybe it's your first tour. You could be on a cruise ship doing a tour. You could be on a theatre production going around. I just thought I'm going to give you 5 things to remember to take with you, just so the first couple of days isn't as hard, because sometimes it can be really hard when you're abroad and you're doing an international tour. So the first one is earplugs. Now I know everyone's like, earplugs, but you know what, you don't know what hotel room you're going to be in, you definitely don't know who you're going to be sharing a room with, and you just don't know how loud outside's going to be and what your surroundings are going to be. So I'm gonna say, even though they're old and trusted, a good old £2 pair of earplugs is where it's at, just to help you kind of get from that uncertainty part and feeling a bit more like home, because then you can kind of create the environment rather than the environment dictating to you with the level of sound. And I think sound also adds to your stress, and if you're feeling quite stressed about moving abroad and doing your tour, it's a good thing to get a bit of silence, or to just have a bit of control over the noise. Number 2 is a good cup of tea. Now this is so me and so British, I know, but I think as well, you just don't know what you're going to get when you go abroad. So a good cup, just put a few, I'm a sucker for Earl Grey and a good old cup of Yorkshire tea. So I would be putting those into my, and do you know what? I actually do this when I go anywhere. I'll always put, like, honestly, if you see me, I'll always have a tea bag in my bag. I know this sounds really silly. Maybe not if I'm like just meeting somebody out whilst I'm in London, but I do usually just, put a little tea bag in my suitcase, or you just never know. And I'm a sucker for a good cup of tea. So I don't know whether that is something that, if it's not, because my other friend loves Ribena, so maybe yours is Ribena, maybe it's a Curly Whirly, maybe it's something that's British you can't get anywhere else, kind of put it in the suitcase, just so when you get there you can have a good old chocolate digestive, a nice cup of tea, and it just kind of eases you in to the start of your tour. The third thing is to take a battery pack for your phone. Now, the reason I say this is because you actually don't know where you're going to be, what you're going to be doing, and if you're, for instance, out somewhere and you're exploring, I think a battery pack is great for your phone, because again, you're in control, you can go on your maps and you don't feel so disconnected. Because honestly, I don't know about you, this week I actually did a digital detox. So I had a day where I didn't do anything. I turned my phone off, I had no email, I didn't watch TV, no podcasts, absolutely nothing. I just wrote in my diary. I could read a book, by the way. I did read a book. And I meditated quite a lot the whole of the day. And it's something I do every now and then. I call them a silent day, so I don't talk. And I go within myself and I do like this spiritual practice. So there's this thing that I've realised is that I've now turned off notifications on my phone, which has been fantastic, because I realised, hang on a second, I had 89 emails in the last 3 hours, and this isn't a joke, this was my life yesterday. And I turned off the notifications because I'm one of those people that I can't, if I see one, I have to press it. I don't know, did this happen to you? Like, if you see, like, oh, I've got 3 notifications on Facebook, okay, what did they say? And I thought, wow, this is taking a lot of my time, it's taking a lot of my my resources, like it's taking my attention, and my attention is my life. My focus is my life. So I'm going to take that away and put the focus back on me. But I also realised that my phone is an extension of me. And so losing your phone, you can feel quite, I don't know, like vulnerable and quite, I don't want to say naked, but you know what I mean, yeah? So I think having a battery pack is the most, it's crucial, I think. Especially for the first week whilst you're getting your bearings and understanding who you're going to be with, who your troupe is, and how rehearsals work and that type of thing. Now, I'm going to go with number 4, which is actually backing up some programs that you really love, either Netflix, iTunes, iPlayer, Amazon Prime. Download some of them onto your tablet or your laptop, because sometimes you might not have Wi-Fi. And this is a great way to ease you in to something that you would do back home, that when you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm so far away from home, you can watch one of these programs, and it brings a little bit of creature comforts, you know, that feeling of home again. And then I'm going to move on, because when you do get Wi-Fi, what I also suggest is you can get a lot of anxiety whilst you're going to sleep, especially if you're in a strange place like nearly every night on a tour. So I actually would suggest some YouTube videos. First off, some meditation YouTube videos, just so it kind of allows you to go to sleep very, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Like gently, and it'll soothe you to sleep. Also some rain noises, or like rainforest noises, which you can get on YouTube as well. And they last for like 8 hours, by the way. If you've got free Wi-Fi, obviously it really helps. And then also you can get some apps on your phone. So one great app is called Headspace, and it's a way of creating a meditation practice where you could do it for like just 5 minutes if you want to, but it allows you to have that space where you can have a little bit of a breather, because it can be so overwhelming to be on an international tour, and you know, meeting new people every day, being in a different space all the time, it can be very, very alarming at times. Really exciting, by the way. It can be very, very, very exciting, but also it can be sometimes you just want to feel like you're back home again. So I'm hoping these 5 tips will help you to reduce your anxiety and to enjoy your international tour a little bit better. So, as I say, this Sunday show is very different from the other 4 that I've done, but we will be in a different location next week and the week after, and maybe the week after from all the other times, because like I say, I am redecorating, so I may change up where I'm doing the Sunday show, so all this stuff at the back may change. So first of all, I want to say that if any point you want to reach out to me via Twitter, on Facebook, on my Instagram, feel free to message me at any point with anything that you're struggling with, anything that you need help with, or anything that you would like me to cover on the Sunday show. And if you've got a question, I can obviously answer it, and if you want to be anonymous, that's fine, not a problem. But I just wanted to reach out and let you know that this isn't just a show where I'm talking to you. I want it to be interactive, and I want you to get some really good information, and for this use of your time to be as valuable as possible. So thank you so much for watching. As you say, it is my 5th Sunday show. I'm going to be getting at my song. We shall see. I'm doing it on the iPad today. I usually do it on my phone, but we'll see what happens. Okay. Da-da-da-da-da. We're coming up to it. La 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 la. There we go. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy Sunday. Have a wonderful week. And the one thing I would say is, don't be scared. Move out of your comfort zone, charge forward, and do something this week that you wouldn't do normally. Do something that's so out of character, but will also move you forward in your goal to become a performer. So whichever way that is, whether it's, I don't know, singing a song on the tube or something, I'm joking, but you know what I mean, you could do that. Have an amazing week. Thank you so much for getting involved, for being a part of this, and it's my pleasure to serve you in any which way. So go forth, shine your light, be bright, and I will see you next week for episode 6 of The Sunday Show. Bye, guys.